At night, the streets of Guatemala City seem to catch fire with the orange glow of street lamps. The light is everywhere. It shines on the middle of the city where people head out to nightclubs and bars looking for a good time. The same light shines on thieves and prostitutes, on rich and poor, on honest and dishonest people. But in the poorest corner of the city, the light shines on a different scene. This is where the children gather, the children of the streets. They are grouped in huddles, fighting over a scrap of food, sniffing small plastic bottles filled with glue, and thinking about shelter for the night. Who are these children? Their faces indistinct, blurred by the orange lights. The people of the city pass them by, mere shadows in the corner of their eyes, these frightened, drugged, weary street faces. A few years back, one of the faces was 7-year-old Michael. He came from a family where there was constant fighting, where those who should have loved and protected him were his tormentors. Money was always very scarce, and there was never enough food. Michael's father felt frustrated and angered by the situation. He took it out on his son. Worse than the beatings were the accusations when Michael was wrongly blamed for causing trouble. And worse still were the times when Michael was sent to the cellar to be alone in the darkness. He had to sit in the cold for hours on the hard floor, deeply lonely and afraid of the dark. Most days, Michael would go to work with his father or beg for money on the city streets. One day, he met a boy called Jorge, who invited him to join a street gang. The gang was mostly boys, mostly his age. He looked into their eyes and saw a reflection of his own pain and anger. So Michael joined the gang and went with them, doing as they did, begging, stealing, drinking, and shouting into the darkness together. 2 Christmases ago, Michael started using glue. The first time he took a sniff, his brain filled with a soft red mist, and his world became a blur. He felt good until the effects wore off and his head began to thump with pain, so he sniffed again. Michael used the drug like this continually to numb the cold in his body and the pain in his heart. This was the only life he knew. He was forgetting what it means to be a child. Then Michael's parents disappeared. Nobody knew where they had gone. From that moment, the gang became Michael's family and the streets became his home. This was how we found him. A toy box street educator discovered Michael. He was offered a new start in life: food, shelter, care, education, and a new family. It was not easy for him to accept all these things, and it was tough at first. He wasn't used to unconditional love and acceptance. He wanted to return to the streets, to gang life, and his drug addiction gripped him hard. But with the patient help of his new house parents and friends, he gradually adjusted to life off the streets and off drugs. There is still sadness within Michael, but every day things get better. He knows that his life could have worked out very differently, and he wants to help other street children. This is why he dreams of being a police officer when he grows up. If you saw Michael today, you would never know about his past. His life, which was dark and held no hope, has been turned around thanks to the help of Toy Box. This Christmas he will be happy and well-fed, full of love, food, and the light of Christ. This light is everywhere. It shines out of the faces of children rescued from the streets, children like Michael.